This problem is about understanding the feel of standard deviation. Do not calculate the standard deviation on this problem, but try to apply the concept of the standard deviation. Here are two dot plots showing serial data for adult versus child. Here we look at calorie content. Okay, so what's going on here? So first off, we're talking about the concept of standard deviation. So let's write what is the concept of standard deviation. Standard deviation is average distance from the middle. It's a measure of spread, how spread out the data is. So remember the word deviation. You know what is a social deviant? I don't know if you ever heard that term. It means somebody who acts weird. They act different than normal. Their behavior deviates from average. Different than normal. Deviation. Different than normal. So therefore, that's what standard deviation. Standard means average, typical. Average, standard, distance from the middle, deviation. So in other words, in a data set, how far are people or data points from the middle on average? So let's start down here with the child data. So where is the middle? It looks like this is the middle of all these dots, probably about. I mean, I don't know. It's roughly that's the middle. Maybe it should be a little bit below that because it looks like there's a few numbers below. You're like the middle. Where would you put your finger? Probably about right there if you wanted to balance. If these were weights and you wanted to put your finger in the middle to balance, it'd be about right there, just a little bit to the left. Maybe even a little closer, huh? Maybe just barely to the left, right about there. Probably 109 or something is the middle because, we have this is mostly right where our finger goes and then a little above, a little below, but then that one makes us go a little to the left. So anyway, the middle's about right there. So how far are the numbers from the middle typically? Oh, and let me give you the options here. When you click on the multiple choice options, it'll be 0.75, 6.5, and 13.5. Again, we're not calculating it. We're just going to feel it. So, which sounds funny, I imagine. Okay, so how are we going to feel it? Well, if this is the middle, how far, right, average distance from the middle, how far are the numbers from the middle? All these guys are right on the middle, basically. Their distance from the middle is pretty much zero. They might be 0.6 or 5. They're right, it's really close to zero. How far are these numbers from the middle? Well, it goes from 110 to 120. So these numbers are 10 above the middle. These numbers are 10 below the middle. This one number here looks like it's 20 below the middle. Remember, we're saying how far are they from the middle, because that's what standard deviation is, average distance from the middle. So most of them are right on the middle, 0. A couple of them are 10, 10, and 20. If you were to average those, now what's the average? There's a whole bunch of zeros. Right, let me do this again. If this is the middle, about right there, there'd be a whole bunch of, all these are 0. All this, this dot, this, all these dots are 0, 0, 0, 0 from the middle. This one is 20 above, no, 10 above the middle. So 10, 10, 10 for those 3 dots. This is 10, 10, 10, and this one's 20 from the middle. But these are a whole bunch of, if you were to add up all those zeros, 3 10s here, 3 10s there, and a 20, what is the average? Well, I don't know. It's going to be pretty low. Is it going to be like 13.5? No, it's not going to be more than 10. No way the average of all those distances from the middle is more than 10. Is it going to be like 0.7 going to be like below 1? No. We got some 10s, right? If you were to add up 0 plus 0 plus 0, I don't know how many of these there are. Bunch of them. A bunch of zeros. And then 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 20, and divide by however many numbers, whatever total number. The average it's got to be 6.5, doesn't it? Do you see how? If those are my 3 options, then for sure 6.5. It can't be below 1, and it can't be above 10. No way. It's got to be somewhere in the middle, 5 or 6 or whatever. Yeah. So there we go. So it's about the feel. Let's try the next one. So in the next one, let me give you the options for the next one. It's going to be 23, 41, and 55 for the adult. So for the adult one, where's the middle of this data set? I don't know, maybe about right there. Where would you put your finger to balance those? Maybe about right there, maybe even further to the right. Yeah, maybe just a little further to maybe right there. I don't know. So how far are these from the middle, right? That's where distance from the middle, average. Well, these, if this is the middle, about 105 is the middle maybe, then these are all 5, 5, 5. I'm sorry, that's bad writing. Those are all 5s. 5, 5, 5. All those numbers are 5 from the middle. All these numbers are 5 from the middle, right? And these numbers at 120, they go from the middle's 105 about. I mean, I'm just guessing. It's, again, this isn't exact. It's just a feel. These numbers are really far apart, so we're going to be able to tell which one without being super exact. So these at 120 is how far above 105. They're all 15, 15, 15, etc. 130 from 105, that's 25. There's two 25s. 140 from 105, that's 35, 35, 30. There's 3 of those. 150 from 105, that's 245, and 160, that's 55 above. These ones, how far from 105 down to 90? These numbers are, what's that, 15? 15, 15, 15, a bunch of 15s. This is 25. 2 35s, 45, 50, then these are some 55s. All right, so if you added up all those numbers, now notice there's a whole bunch more 5s than there is anything else. And then next comes 15s. So there's mainly 5s and 15s. So yeah, but there's 35s and 55s. Yeah, but there's not many of those. Right? So if you're figuring out the average here, it's mainly going to be 5s and 15s. So the answer is going to be the 23, right? The average distance from the middle has got to be around 20, not 40 or 50, right? It couldn't be 50. The biggest number is 55 from the middle. That can't be the average distance from the middle. That's the maximum distance from the middle. And it can't be 41, because that's like about right here. That's not where the average point is from the middle. The average is right around the middle here, about 20 away. That's the average distance from the middle. That's what standard deviation is.